Yeah, okay. Okay, we did it. Yup. No, I ain't trying to win the battle, I'ma win the war. I don't dance in the club, dog, I dance with wolves. Sip on a fine potion, enhance my thoughts. Spit murder, death, kill, I can't get caught. Been sick so long, I think I need a clinic. You got tons of guns, okay, we get it. I'm a true MC, see I don't need a gimmick. Don't wanna build with y'all unless you mean digits. And I don't get involved with you weak bitches. I keep my problems solved, put them in deep ditches. Use the internet hoe, you tryna network. You make a few bucks a show, what is your net worth? Waiting on my downfall, don't hold your breath first. And if your squad run deep, I push a stretch hearse. You're all welcome to the jungle with his vet lurk. With Kamachin self-titled, I hope that vest work. There's nothing you can say to us, too many niggas hating us.
Yo, how are you fat leets doing out there? Thank you very much for listening to episode 3 of the podcast. I want to take this time and apologize about how long it's taken me to release the 3rd episode. I'm recording it is April 25th, and I think the last podcast I did was back in February when I was releasing the 2nd version of the Oreo wafer ghee. In that time, immediately right after I released that ghee, we had a roof leak in the house we rent here in Fort Myers, and that thing was like 3 weeks of dealing with having a contractor come, the roofers, getting it actually leaked 3 times because that was a rainy week. So we couldn't even get any work done to the house while it was still raining. Then we had to get the carpets taken out, and that, it was just, it felt like it was ongoing, never ending. And so now that that's done, hopefully we don't have another leak in this house. Actually, we probably won't. I won't. Got some big news for everybody. We I don't even know if I told you guys this the last time. Me and my wife were expecting our 2nd child. It's going to be a baby girl. Sometime in August, we are due. So we're really excited about that. My son Uriah is very excited about being a big brother. So we're very well looking forward to that. And besides that, we're also going to be relocating back to Orlando, back home from Fort Myers. The area is nice and whatnot. Just we gotta go back home. All our friends and family are in Orlando, and well, Fort Myers is only 3 hours away. Let me tell you, those 3 hours means a lot. Well, it's really like 3.5. So, in the next few months, we're gonna be in that process, moving back to Orlando, the baby. I promise I'm gonna try to get better at doing a podcast. Hopefully, I can do a weekly thing with more of my friends up there in Orlando, specifically Mitch Shamali with Combat Night, and one of my knife making friends up there, Eddie Diaz, who's got a nice little setup with macho blades, doing some awesome work out of his house, really. He loves it, so. Thanks for those who've given me a lot of feedback on audio quality and what I should be doing. And if the audio still kind of sucks, I apologize. I'm still trying to work on it. I think the next thing I want to get is a gate limiter compressor, because I think this condenser mic that I'm using is very, very sensitive. And even though I have pretty much the gain turned down, I gotta work around with these a little more and get the settings perfect. But once again, this is just kind of thrown together to keep you guys informed and well, really discuss what what it is bigger guys and fat boys want to do in jiu-jitsu and anything else. So hopefully this grows larger, or doesn't really matter. I'm going to do it anyways. Yo, Troncat BJJ, I know I've owed you this podcast specifically because you asked me about bigger guys joining jiu-jitsu for the first time and how that whole process is. And let me tell you, it's my experience. It was eye-opening. There's many people tell you the first time they try jiu-jitsu, they love it, they're hooked, and they know that's what they want to do for years to come. I wasn't that lucky. My first jiu-jitsu experience, and it had nothing to do with the where I was at, the instructor that was there. It was 100% based on me and my decision and how I felt. I was, probably around 370, I was pushing probably 380. And when the first time I started, it started off, it was a wreck. They gave me, when I signed up, it was actually at Gracie Baja Orlando. So you sign up, they gave you a Gracie gi at that point, and it wasn't an official one of the like official Gracie gis with all the patches. It was just a little training kind of gi with a painted on logo. They gave me the biggest they had. It was an A7, and the pants didn't fit, the gi top didn't fit. So my very first class, everyone's in the gi and I'm in basketball shorts. So already starting like, damn, I don't even belong in here. Stuck it out, did the warm up. I was dying in the warm up. To this day I still can't do crab walks. Mainly because of my wrist surgery and how that scaphoid, how I no longer have a scaphoid in my wrist and I have a plate. But I couldn't do that. I could barely do a shrimp. Suck and win the entire class. And it was very demoralizing. I looked at it and I was like, fuck, is this really for me? So that was my first class. So many, and I love the fact that so many people do love it the very first time. For a bigger guy, it's tough. But I promise you, if you stick it in there, you'll enjoy it. There's no bigger affront to everybody saying, oh, jiu-jitsu's for everybody, jiu-jitsu's for everybody, jiu-jitsu's for everybody. Bullshit, because nobody fucking had gis back at that point for bigger guys. It was just non-existent. I was, so I started training, and like I said, the pants didn't fit. So I decided, I was like, what am I going to do? I wanted, the gi top didn't fit, but you know what? A lot of people's gi tops don't fit, and it ain't nothing. You do what you can. The pants was really what was bothering me. So I had the bright idea of getting, I was like, man, these pants look, they're just white pants. I go, well, I went to Walmart and bought some Dr. Scrubs. Let me tell you about Scrubs. Though that material is not, it's not gi canvas, and it's not ripstop material. So I went through several pairs of Dr. Scrubs because they're just not thin. They're not made to be pulled on and used and have grips pulled on them. And yeah, so that kind of, changed. Then I started finding, I know there was other companies that had like just sell gi pants, and they were selling up to A6s and so what. And in the industry, and most sizes are the same, but just because a company has an A8, A9, A10, they're no freaking different than A5s, or it's just, it's not consistent. Nobody has consistent sizing, really. I mean, within the manufacturer themselves, they're pretty on point. It's always going to be on point. Some manufacturers A2s are smaller, bigger. I mean, it's just everybody's a little bit different. I know my normal sizes. If when I typically release an A1 through A5 gi, because my company's Fat Boy, I try to do a little bit looser, and not something that's anybody's really going to notice, but just a tad bit, just to put my mark on it. So back to your first day. It is frustrating. There's going to be things you're not going to be able to do as a bigger guy, but don't let that stop you. You need to just practice. There's no practice. Mobility is a huge issue, which is not just issue, but mobility is huge. The better you move, the better your jiu-jitsu is going to be. So anything you can do to help that, stretching, yoga, whatever, is going to help in the long run. So it's not you're not going to waste time doing certain stretches. It's not going to be a waste of time. You're going to actually thank yourself later. Email tells me that you wrestled a year in high school, and just wondering what year was it, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior? I myself tried to wrestle freshman year. And freshman year, I was trying to wrestle at 189 because that was my weight, but there was already a 189er junior that was on the team, and he was way better than me. I freaking sucked. I was not good at wrestling at all, and I think I didn't want to put in the work. I don't think. I mean, I probably could have if my heart was really in it. I tried it, and man, hindsight's 2020. For a while I always said, man, I don't think the coach pushed me enough. But you know what? What is that? I graduated in 01, so that was 97. Oh shit! Look at that. That was 19 to 20 years ago. So I honestly don't remember. I want to say that I was the person I am today with, pushing myself and stuff, but to be honest, I don't think I was. I know, but see, I used to run all the time with ROTC, so I don't understand why I wouldn't, unless I was just tired all the time. But yeah, I don't think I would. Like I said, I don't think I was meant to, or I didn't want to be an athlete. I don't know. Maybe that was just how I coped. I don't know, but like I said, I was horrible. So I ended up wrestling up to 215, and I never won a match. I don't remember how many matches I went to, how many tournaments we actually did. But I never won. Never won a wrestle match. So I ended up dropping out and didn't do it either. So after that, I wasn't an athlete. It was 1 year as a high school athlete. That's it. And then I didn't do anything until, so that was 97, 98, 97, 98 was freshman year. And then I didn't do anything until, like I said, when I started Jiu Jitsu really, as combat sport related or grappling related until '09 when I first started. It was like April. Actually, I think it was April 25th of '09 when I started. I gotta look at I still have that Gracie contract for some reason stored away somewhere. But yes, that's wow, 8 years ago today. So I mean, for 12 years I didn't do anything, and that's more so when I gained all my weight, when I ballooned, because I wasn't that. I was larger in high school, but I wasn't overweight. I wasn't morbidly obese. Like I said, I wrestled at 189, and I remember it was either a mile. I want to say it was a mile and a half. Yeah, we had to do 6 laps. What's that? 1,600 meters is a mile, right? And that's a 400-meter track. So six times around the track. I think it was a mile and a half. And I used to, it was, 6 times around the track and the straight edge. And the fastest time I did that was 13 something. So whatever that is. But that's what I would do. And had to do that all 4 years of high school when, as an ROTC. But that was, once I got out of high school, there was, I didn't do anything physical at all. Well, I know I went on a tangent on that. I also want to say another reason why I got so busy, besides the flood, my wife is pregnant. Back in October, my son started Cub Scouts. So that's a weekly thing, and then there's camp outs and whatnot. But I also got I volunteered to be really I started just as a committee member, or just wanting to be a committee member just to kind of help out. Then there wasn't a treasurer, so I was like, okay, I'll do the treasurer, and I'm not complaining about this at all. I don't mind giving up or helping out other people. I mean, the way I look at it is, I'm gonna be there anyways. I'm not gonna just drop off my kid and say, oh, you're in Boy Scouts, peace out. So no, I stay and I try to get involved just because, I mean, like, I was a Cub Scout, so I feel some of my what I have of morals was, and not just morals but memories, came from Cub Scouts, from a young age. I stopped, I want to say I was either in 5th or 6th grade. I know I definitely stopped before I went to high school. And probably the same thing, like I was getting made fun of for being a Cub Scout or a Boy Scout at that point, and I was like, yeah, whatever, peace. I shouldn't have cared, what people think, or what people thought, but that's not, who I was at that point. I was very impressionable, I guess. Anyway, so helping out with Cub Scouts it brings me joy. I'm happy about it. Like, I love spending that time with my son. We get to do a lot of things, cool things. But just overall, I mean, I guess that's the same thing as just being a father. We just do a lot of things together. So that's pretty cool, and I love the fact that we do that. Sorry, I'm messing around with a baseball. So that's, that adds to the stuff that I'm doing. And then with everything of now going to be relocating back to Orlando. So like I said, I've been kind of busy, but I'm trying to work out and a set schedule so I can do more of these more frequently. And let's see, like I said, I hopefully this form factor of just me myself talking, or at least having some guests on sometimes, that's what I'm going for. Talk really, I don't care if you guys want to talk about training or whatever. I'm or whatever you want to listen about, or listen to me talk about. I know. I think I'm gonna use this more to help keep myself accountable for certain things. And I say that because what I recently picked up doing is I've kind of got I guess it is addicted, intrigued by watching the TLC show My 600-Pound Life. And man, that show scares the fucking piss out of me. I get scared because listening to some of those people and talk about not just their relationship with food, but how they don't like to exercise, and how not so much they're not wanting the exercise, but how they look at food and how they view food as a go-to when there's anxiety, when there's stress, when they're happy. I mean, you think about this. There's a lot of times you go celebrate. Where do you go? Oh, let's go have a drink or have some food, dinner this, dinner that, and I can see myself like as one as one of those people, and it's not so much as the feeling of failure of being overweight. That's where I can relate 100%. When and I know it's rough. I deal with it all the time. Like, fuck, I can't do this, I can't do that because of this. I'm limited sometimes in what I can do, and that's, just trying to work at it and push forward. So there's some of these people on this show that really piss me off because they just don't want to try, and in a way it's fucking boggling because they have this opportunity, and it's a struggle for me. I've because no lie, I mean, I think every big person has always thought about doing weight loss surgery, and you look at it, and some of these people are 600 pounds, so they're not moving, they're not mobile, they're not and I'm not saying all of them, because there's some that have been that go out and work, but let me tell you, the majority of people who are 600 pounds are not working, are not out and about. I mean, they're just homebound. They go to the store and that's about it. So in reality, they're probably at home collecting Social Security benefits, disability benefits, for simply being overweight. And now, granted, there's probably some issues with, you know what? No, I'm not even going to give them a cop out of saying there's a medical issue, because there's not. There are medicines that make you gain weight, but no medicine will make you be 600 pounds. I don't care. A lot of it is you not watching what you're doing, really. I mean, killing yourself with food. And so, like I said, I know the struggle of, man, I want to eat this, I want to eat that, and fuck it, whatever, I'm fat, it doesn't matter. And the feeling of failure of just saying, well, fuck it, I'm already this far gone, what's another 10 pounds? What's another 20 pounds? Oh, well, this doesn't fit me. Oh, well. And you just get this cycle of being just negative towards yourself, and just, you really just end up hating yourself. And I know for a long time, I used to put, oh, whatever, I'm fat and happy. And you know what? Anybody who tells you that they're fat and happy is lying to you. At least that is how I feel. Because there's nothing fun about being overweight. Nothing at all. So when I said earlier that I was going to use the podcast to hold me accountable, I'm serious. And I'm going to struggle getting this out. But I want to say as early when I moved down here, saw the doctor, got on that medication. I'm trying to think of a timeline right now. So November 2016, I was a whopping 385 pounds. And when I would fall asleep at night, if I was laying on my back, my left leg would go numb. So I had to devise a way to fall asleep to where my left leg wouldn't get numb. And I dealt with it. I told my wife recently about it, but I didn't tell her anytime near or when that was happening. I was embarrassed. I still am. So one day I was talking to Uriah, and it hit me when he asked me about my weight and started talking to me about calories. And when I say that I know how some of these people who are 600 pounds are feeling, I know. I've struggled with losing the same 60 fucking pounds since Uriah was born. When I found out my wife was pregnant with Uriah, I know for a fact I was about 311. I have a dress shirt, and it's actually stained in the neck. I didn't take care of it. Apparently it's stained in the neck. It was a nice dress shirt from a higher end store, and it was the biggest shirt they had, but it fit me at that time. And I still have it only because I'm using that as a marker. As soon as I know I fit in it, I'm gonna toss the fucking thing. But I do not want to do that until I can get back into that dress shirt. And when so what I did when Maria was pregnant with Uriah, we used to go out. We used to go out to eat like every night. Really, we never really cooked at home. It was very seldom that we cooked at home. So we were, nightly going out to eat. We'd order anything we wanted. We didn't care. She was pregnant, and I would eat. So we would go out to whatever, just name a place, Chili's or whatever. And I would order a meal. We would order an appetizer. I would order a meal. And she would order a meal. And for about the first 5.5 months of her pregnancy, Maria was very, very, she used to get sick all the time. And this was, she would just get nauseous. And then halfway through the meal, she would say, oh, well, I'm not going to eat this. And my dumbass would reach across the table and finish her meal. Because you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to pay. If I'm going to pay for this food, I'm going to eat it. I grew up in a household where it didn't matter what my mom put on your plate or put on the plate. You could not get up off the table unless your plate was clean. And I'm not blaming her for any of this. But looking back, I don't think that was right. Because then I guess I got trained to, it doesn't matter if I'm full or not, I have to eat all of my food. Because if not, I'm being wasteful, and the kids in fucking Africa who are starving, I am letting them down by throwing this food away. That's 100%, how I felt. So, we would eat appetizer, my food, and her food. So, when Uriah was born, by the time Uriah was born, I gained more weight during Maria's pregnancy than Maria gained in her pregnancy. And you know what? A lot of people say it happens. You gain weight when your wife is pregnant. Well, that shit wasn't going to fucking happen this time. Like I said, in November, I was as soon as November, I was about 385. This morning, I weighed myself, and after that baller ass 10K row I did last night, knocked off 3 minutes and 44 seconds from the last one I did a week earlier. So I'm proud of myself on that. But I was this morning I weighed 342. So we have 43 pounds of weight gone, and I want to keep it like that, and I'm going to keep on going. So right now I want to say I'm ahead. I'm not gaining any more weight during her pregnancy, so hopefully I can keep this going and continue to lose and just continue taking one day at a time. I know it's frustrating sometimes when you know you're killing it and you're eating right. You feel like you're putting enough work and you do not see the scale reflect that. And it's very, very disheartening, to say the least. I mean, you start feeling like failure, then you start thinking, well, shit, this is not working. And it's so easy. So easy to revert back to, I'm just eat like shit. Fuck it. It doesn't matter at this point. There's nothing I'm going to do. Or there's nothing I can do. It's not working. And it's a constant struggle. And I know sometimes it's hard to talk to people about it. And I think more and more people need to try to be open about it. Try to find a friend, just one person you can confide in. Luckily, I have several friends that I can, and I'm blessed. I truly am. I have some of the best friends in the world, and while they are the most savage motherfuckers to me, sometimes I also don't remember I get my licks into. But I can call up any one of my good friends and talk to them and get shit off my mind. And I know, and I'm lucky. I'm very lucky. I know not everybody has that. And hey, if you guys need somebody to talk to, bounce ideas off. I work a 40-hour week. I'm a dad. I'm this, and I'm trying to teach myself to play guitar. But you know what? I will email you back. I'll hit you up on Twitter, whatever you want. If you need someone to talk to, go ahead. I can, if I can be that person for you, that's fine. Great. If not, hey, just find somebody to talk to, because I know it's hard to share this, and to the point where I'm recording this, and luckily this is not live. I'm debating whether or not to air this, because I mean, it's personal. It really is. I mean, nobody that's overweight likes to talk about how much they weigh, and it's hard. But I think it's very important that we do so for ourselves. We need to let people know, or just to air it out, and maybe just talking about it makes you feel better. Hopefully, maybe get some advice. But so now that I've told you how much I've weighed and how much I weigh currently, I'm going to kind of tell you what I've been doing. I know people are like, oh yeah, I've done this and now I'm this, and they don't share how they've done it, and let me tell you, it's putting in work a lot. I mean, so I have a rower at home, and I have about 360 pounds in bumper plates. So I just start playing around with different things, and so actually after I finish this, I'm gonna still go out there and get a squat routine in. I'm gonna do some bench, and I'll probably row a little bit too. Probably just a 1,500 meter, just to get the blood flowing before I do some strength stuff. And then I try to do 30 minutes. Whether it's this, that, 30 minutes total. Minimum a day. I've done more, obviously. I've done less. I try not to do less, but I have done less. But minimum I want to do 30 minutes. I've also, my very first podcast was with my buddy Jim, and Jim will be returning to the cage on July 29th in Orlando, Florida for Combat Night Pro 3. Tickets aren't available, but I will let you guys know if you guys want to. If you're in Florida, definitely go try to check it out. July 29th. It's, I believe, going to be at Guilt nightclub, which was the old Roxy's off of Colonial and Bennett. But so he'll be returning to the cage July 29th in Orlando. But him and I had a bet for 2017, and it was, no, I will not eat any red meat or drink any alcohol for the entire year. And he was going to give up no alcohol, no pork, and no red meat. And the no red meat, I thought I was going to have a lot more trouble with it than I am. Excuse me. But I thought I was going to have a lot more trouble because, man, I love steaks. I love red meat. I love going to Brazilian steakhouses and whatnot. So I thought it was going to be a lot harder for me to give up the red meat, but it really hasn't been. The only time I really miss it is when I want to eat a burger. So the other day, my wife and I went to, and well, you're right, we all went to BurgerFi on Saturday, and she was craving a burger, so I was like, all right, I'll go. And she goes, you sure? They got burgers. I go, oh, I'll figure something out. So I go, and I really thought they had chicken, so I was just gonna get like a chicken sandwich or whatever and call it a night or call it a day. Get there, no chicken, and I was like, oh shit. I'm like, what am I doing? And Maria goes, oh, well, they got a veggie burger, and I was like, all right, whatever. It was a quinoa burger, and it was just a veggie burger made out of quinoa. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'll check that out. I like quinoa. Boom, whatever. So I go to the girl at the counter. I go, hey, let me get a veggie burger and add some bacon on that. She looks at me. She goes, well, it's not veggie at that point. And I'm like, bitch, just give me what I want. I know. But yeah, that was I found that kind of funny because she was just looking at me like, you motherfucker, that's not veggie. So that's really the only time I miss red meat is when I want to eat a burger. And hell, there's this Brazilian churrascaria that opened up in Bonita Springs, and it's called Rodizio Grill. So it's like Texas or Fogo, but not as their upper echelon. I want to say these are just like a little step below. It's not as expensive, and I don't think it has the quantity of different type of meats. I mean, I know Fogo and Texas have a couple different selections of each type of meat. And this place has, they have their picanha and their filet and stuff like that. And we've gone a couple times, and I go and I have the chicken and the fish that they do. Really good fish. And I eat the salad bar, and it, like I said, it really doesn't bother me. The most, that's weird, the most it bothers me is when I want to eat a burger. And I haven't even tried like a turkey burger or anything yet. I just haven't. But so that's what I've been doing, and so obviously because I'm not eating red meat, I'm eating a lot more lean chicken and salmon, Chilean sea bass. I've been picking up a lot of fish, and I have yet to have like really really fresh mahi, and by what I mean fresh, I got a friend who goes fishing, and the other day he caught a 42-pound mahi, and he went home and fucking cooked that bitch up. That's what I want. I have yet to do that, and I've lived in Florida for fucking 15 years already, and haven't done that yet, and I should be eating that. So besides just eating chicken and fish and leaner meats, and putting in 30 minutes a day working out, that's all I've really been doing. Well, I say all, but I quit a long time ago with drinking sodas and stuff. I was really horrible back in the day. So just a lot of water, and that's the most important thing, because you can add a lot of calories to your diet just by drinking them away. Yeah, I used to, I did used to drink Arnold Palmer's all the time. Well, it's not soda. That Southern sweet tea is just fucking gallons of sugar in it, I bet. So, just taking away from that, drinking more water, and doing those little things. Believe me when I say, if I can do it, anyone can. Anyone. Mainly because, like I said, I've gained and lost the same 60 fucking pounds for the last 7 years. If I was a better person, I'd already be in the low twos. And then, like I said, I struggle with that every day. So, but what I want us to talk about was, I'm watching the show, and this doctor, he everybody, look, after the first meeting, I want you to lose 40 to 50 pounds within the next 2 months, blah, blah, blah. You're going to have a no carb, high protein, low fat diet. And if you probably listen to my podcast, you probably listen to a bunch of other guys, specifically Rogan and T-Fat K, and everybody's talking about keto diets and how good. And man, let me tell you, I'm in this one keto group on Facebook that you see just by switching your diet and getting out the sugars and all carbs out of your diet, how quickly people drop. But what really stresses me out, but makes me wonder is, this doctor's telling, oh, you cannot have no fats, zero fats, very low fat diet, there's got to be protein, and they have nutritionists talking to these people and stuff like that, and it's like almost like if it definitely is antiquated science, but I understand not everybody's different, or not everybody's the same. Everybody is different, and some people the keto diet is going to work, some people it won't. But I just, nobody even looks at that as an option. I feel like it's mind-boggling, I guess nobody wants to relearn what they've been, specifically doctors and nutritionists, they don't want to think about how they might be wrong, and it's crazy to me. So I just realized that I kept on pausing my recorder, and every time I paused the recorder, it would open up a new file. So hopefully when I mix this down, you guys don't hear what I was doing while I thought I was paused or not recording, because I'm still so very new to podcasting and being in front of the microphone, and so I pause and I kind of make some noise and clear my throat, just because I don't want to do it during the recording. And hopefully I just fix that. Otherwise, I guess you guys are going to let me know. So I talked about that, my weight, my working out, keys. So I got a couple A2 Fat Boys left, and I know I have one A2H available and an A2 gi. I am working on releasing another white gi. I know several of you have asked for white gis because your academy only allows you to use white gis. So I'm working on that, and I'm sorry it's taking so long. It's like I said, I'm a one-man operation, so it takes time, but I'm bringing those out. And when I know several of you also emailed me regarding the fact that you can never get an A4 Fat Boy. And let me tell you, that size, I cannot keep in stock. So when I buy to sell A4 Fat Boys, I'm sorry, but I I put them online, and I don't want to be, oh, I'm going to hold it for this person, hold it for this person. So it's first come, first serve, and I know it pisses people off when I'm all out, but man, let me tell you, it's rough. As much as you hate not getting it, I hate getting the emails of how much of a bastard I am that I don't have it in stock, and I'm sorry. But hopefully this next batch, well, not hopefully, this next batch I'm going to definitely order more of the A4 Fat Boys than the A2H's, or the A2 Fat Boys. While, I am an A2 Fat Boy size. Obviously, I believe the ordering of the A2s has been more for myself than it has been for others, and I will get to more A4 Fat Boys, and hopefully this next batch I'll have enough for everybody to buy at least one. And but I guess with that, I'm going to leave you guys today. Hopefully I give you guys some insight more on who I am and what Fat Boy is. If I confused you more, I did. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm just trying to get this whole podcasting thing down, and hopefully someone listens to it. If not, whatever. But Fat Leets, go out there, do your thing, and I'll talk to you shortly. All right. Peace.
Been lied to by every institution. What makes you think that the religious institution is the only one that's never been touched?
I am the annihilator, put apocalypse on lines of paper. We can go toe to toe and see who rhyme is greater. I don't think you ever want to step inside the chamber. I don't think you want to see inside the eyes of Vader. Couldn't comprehend the force that I bring. I'm like Rocky Marciano when he walk in the ring. I stalk in the ring, you cowards sounding soft when you sing. But I'm as angry as a motherfucker caught in the bing. It's all for the bing.